Hello, welcome back. I've been doing a bit more filing on the Spitfire, mainly concentrating on the wing roots, these beautiful shaped fairings on the wings, beautiful shapes. I think it's a very iconic part of the Spitfire itself, that and the elliptical wing of course. Now it does come with its, I had some question marks about doing this because I'm going to throw some pictures up of how the wing roots are on a real Spitfire. And you'll notice when you compare them that the kit is quite exaggerated in its shape. They're not as obvious as this on the real Spitfire, certainly at the back of these fairing parts here. I did consider reducing the shapes of them to make them blend in more to the fuselage, but the amount of work involved in doing that, it's not too bad, but you do lose a lot of the detail from the mouldings, if you like. So I was like that, I wasn't sure. And I had to foil it first just to see if I was happy with the result. And I've ummed and ahed about doing it. I know it's not a big deal, but I think I'm going to leave it because it's okay. They look nice as they are, but they're not very representative of the real thing. But I suppose at the end of the day, you've got to compromise a little bit, and it still looks like a Spitfire. But I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you think, if it would be worth reducing these down and making them less obvious, if you like, on the joins. There shouldn't be you shouldn't be able to get your fingernail on there like that. Certainly not around here. And if I wouldn't be, I'm not against the idea of stripping it back and doing it again, but I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, so the video is about the progress I've made so far. I've done this side. And all that side of the fuselage is now done, as you can see. I haven't done this side yet because I'll do that off camera. When I'm foiling aeroplanes, I tend to work. When I'm on video, I have to do it in front of the camera, so my hands are out in front of me a lot more. When I'm off camera, I can bring the piece or the model towards my chest, if you like, and I tend to work a lot closer in. So I'm quite compromised doing it on camera. So I like to do some of it on camera and then do the other half, if you like, off camera. And also it's just a repeat, and this side is just a repeat of that side. There's no point seeing it twice. So the next stage is, as I say, I'm going to put some pictures up of that first, so have a look at those. But the next stage is basically what I'm going to do with this next. So I've done the tail already done. I've already done a video on how to foil the tailplane, so there's no point doing that again. So the tailplane will just get put on and you'll just magically see it arrive one day. It needs a rudder and the elevator's doing, and they're fabric covered, they're not foiled anyway. And I'm thinking of enhancing the actual stitching detail and the actual, I might do that, yeah, I'm not decided. That might be on the cards. If I do, I'll do a video about that. So obviously we've got, this is obviously the airframe. The engine's a whole new different concept. That's a whole new different part of the build. It's like the engine's like a model in itself. So I'm going to finish the rest of the aeroplane and then start on the nose, and obviously do different videos about the build of the engine. So the wings. The wings are quite, there's a lots of acreage there. It looks quite a daunting task. The only hard part is the air intakes for the radiator, whatever they are, cooling system under here. They're quite tricky to do, but the rest of it's not too bad. I have decided to fit the guns in one side. I'm not doing it on both sides because I like the clean look of it with the cowling, the covers on. So that side of the aeroplane to me is just going to be clean. It's going to be nothing exposed at all. This side will, as I've got the radio hatch exposed. I'll have the guns exposed on this side, and obviously the cockpit doors open on that side as well. So the guns are the interesting part because I've made it so that you can actually fit the guns afterwards. You have to put the mountings in for the 303 Brownings on this side, but you can fit the guns anytime you like. And these are the guns. This is part of the guns. I've bought some aftermarket parts. This is the 20mm Spano blank that you get, and that will fit in there quite happily. Just slots in there. It needs painting obviously and everything else. And then you've got the circular drum feed some mechanism, and then you've got the other part which goes in, which I haven't got here at the moment, with all the cannon shells in there. Now I don't like that bit because I think it looks a bit, it doesn't look very convincing to me. So what I'm going to do with the guns, I'm going to make a belt. This is just one example. This is a test. You might not be able to see it on video if I can get it to focus. That's one cannon shell that I've made in brass. I'd need to make at least 20 of those. So, and then what I will do is then fit them onto a belt, so that they can actually go into this area here, and maybe have them a bit longer and having them exposed and draped over the wing. I think it'd look quite nice. But I'm not quite sure how they feed from this belt system into the drum. It comes with like a plastic. I ain't got it with me. I wish I'd got it out now. I'm not sure how it works. I need to do some more studying on that, how they actually feed into that drum. But anyway, that's the idea. So I'm going to be crazy enough to make loads of these little things, these little cannon shells. Maybe that's the casings. This is one of the casings, if you like. I've measured this up. I've got a real cannon shell, so I can measure it up and compare them. That's basically 1mm tubing, which works out at 24mm, and then the cannon shell itself is a little bit less. It's 0.8, which multiplied by 24 works out at 20mm. So they are accurate. They are at accurate scale, and they're not as difficult to make as you think. So I'm going to make a little video on that. This is a little jig that I've made. So basically, I can't show it because I don't have any with me at the moment. You put your tubing into there, cut it roughly to length, and then file it down so it's exactly the same length. So you end up with a little blanks like this for the actual casings. So they're all the same length and uniform. So that's that part. And I've also ordered some aftermarket cannon barrels. Now these aren't the right ones for this kit because you can't get them. I don't think you can. If you can, please let me know in the comments. These are for a Hurricane Mark II. Comes with, so Hurricane Mark II's got 4 cannons in the wings, and these are the cannon barrels, and these are the springs that come with it. So they go over there like so, and then you've got the rest of the barrel that goes there like that. But that's too short, so that goes into like a receiver there, which plugs into the wing, into there like so. But if you look at that as a complete unit, try and get it to show up on camera, it's too short because that's the length of the cannon barrel exposure on the Spitfire. So I need to extend these with some tubing of some sort. And when I've done that, because if you look, I've got a picture of one where this is basically a shroud that goes over the cannon barrel as it sticks out there. So it's just a wind deflector, it's to stop air getting down the wing. And I suppose to keep it clean and all sorts of other things. So that bit I'm not going to show on this side. I'm going to have it as an exposed with this shroud removed with the cannon barrel sticking out with the spring and everything. I think it'll look quite nice. I've also ordered some of these. You can get these in aluminium, like an aluminium tube. Well, they're just a casting, aren't they? So I can't foil those very well anyway. So on this side it won't have one. On this side it'll have an aluminium version of this, but they haven't arrived yet. You also get some of these, but they're blanked off completely. When you chop that end off there and put an aluminium nose cone on it, which again is great for me for foiling, because foiling over that shape is near impossible. But I can foil round it quite happily, but then just put the nose cone onto it. So that's the guns idea. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think I probably will do it, and it'll make a nice opportunity to make some interesting videos about it. Certainly making these cannon shells. I've got like a little crude lathe that I can, it's very, very crude, it's 30 quid off eBay. I can turn things or polish things up and stuff, so there we go. But they are quite slow to make and they take a bit of time, but they're dead easy to do. So that's the guns basically. So what I've also done, I've done a bit of footage of this outside, because in here this is just artificial light. Above this camera that I'm filming on now, I've got a big ring light above my head. It's very, very bright. I have to sit with a baseball cap on to keep the brightness out of my eyes. So I've done a bit of footage of this outside in daylight, just to show the difference in the aluminium foil in normal light, if you like. So you can see the effects of foil. Now this isn't sanded that much, it's just applied and then sanded a little bit, and you can see different variations in the sand. I've sanded that direction on this part here, and I've sanded that direction there, because people have asked me, how do you get different effects of light playing on the metal and stuff. So I think it's done quite well, and if you look at it outside, it does give a bit of a different look of how it looks, and that's just shot on an iPhone, so just bear with me on that one. So there we are. I've done the footage of me filing this part of the model. You can watch it if you like. I've put it on there for my reference as much as anybody else. It's quite long, but if you want to just dip in and have a look at parts of how each part's done. The hardest part to do was this area here, because it's this is actually accurate to the real thing. I think it is rolled like that on that edge, so that edge is quite tricky to do, and that was the only difficult part to do, and I've nicked a bit of foil off that edge there, you can see. But I tend to go around the whole model when I finished it, and I'll just repair areas that need doing again. It's not difficult to repair in that. The rest of it was quite easy. It was not difficult at all, and the rest of the wings and everything are really easy to do as well. So it's I'll probably do a video about foiling this side of the wing and this side of the wing, and maybe the centre part, not both sides because there's no point. And then when we've got that done, as I say, we're on to the engine. So yeah, enough waffling from me. Let me know what you think about the gun idea and the cannon shells, and I'll put the footage up now. So thanks for watching. Catch you in a bit. you.